Community Icon is up and running again. Learn more about the return of Cougar Country.
And WSU sets a new record across its 6 campuses.
Murrow News 8 starts right now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening. I'm Sean O'Connor.
And I'm Logan Plant. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
WSU system enrollment is up for the 6th consecutive year. The university enrollment increased by 129 people in 2019, but the Pullman campus saw a slight decrease in student population. The main campus decreased its enrollment by 46 people from the fall of 2018. WSU enrolls 31,478 students across all its campuses. There's a record number of students at WSU, which means more and more students in the Murrow College may have to endure Com 300, one of the toughest classes in the program. John Lee took an in-depth look at the students' experiences in the infamous course.
Many students, both international and domestic, often struggle with Com 300 course. Main reasons were learning about different style rules and accuracy.
It's just, I don't think I knew beforehand that you would fail a paper immediately, like right away, if you did something incorrect as far as AP style went. For example, you misspell someone's last name, that was instant F.
In addition to that, oftentimes lack of preparedness for the class might cause difficulty. On top of that, most students do not think about to use a peer mental lab after the class.
Yeah, I feel like new material is coming at them, and they're not necessarily reading the text and digesting the information and developing questions.
Com 300 faculties and students who pass the course at Murrow College stress importance of additional resources. Many students do not take advantage of their accessibility.
To the Com 300 peer mentors that I talked to yesterday, 44 students initially attended the lab, and only 15 students visited more than twice last semester.
On the other hand, Murrow College provides a grammar class as optional. However, some people are questioning whether communication department should make this class as a required class or not before students enter Com 300.
I think a lot of students need it. I don't think everybody does, and that's why I would hesitate to say it should be required. But I think for most students, it would be a really, really good idea.
John Lee, Murrow News 8.
The Services and Activities Committee is short $1 million. S&A fees that incoming students usually pay were waived because of scholarships. This cuts into funding for ASWSU, GPSA, and the Cub. ASWSU President Quentin Bercampus is working with upper university officials to change this policy.
The Cougar Country Drive-In is back in business after being closed for nearly 7 months. The restaurant opened to long lines along Grand Avenue Wednesday nights. At one point, staff stopped taking orders due to the backup, serving customers who had already been waiting for over an hour for their food. Last night was considered a soft opening for the restaurant. Owner Mike Wagner talked to Murrow News 8 about the turnout. Cougar Country was open early today from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. The restaurant plans to keep patrons posted on schedule updates on Facebook.
Happening now, the judge tells the jury that they can stay as long as they want tonight to deliberate in the case of former police sergeant Dan Hargraves. Hargraves took the stand in the ongoing trial where he is accused of sexual misconduct with a WSU student. KLEW reports that Hargraves claims he did not have any sexual encounters with his accuser on the night of March 30th. The jury asked to review DNA evidence that was presented earlier this week, but the judge denied the request. The jury is in the middle of deliberations.
WSU Transportation Services collected more than 10% of their revenue last year from parking tickets. The department issued more than 17,000 tickets, totaling over $500,000 in fines. 51.5% of the department's revenue came from parking permits in the last fiscal year. WSU Transportation issued 1,300 more tickets in the 2019 fiscal year than the previous year.
There's a new affordable housing project in Pullman. A $12 million apartment complex on Bypass Drive will open next year. Half of the planned 56 units will be set aside for residents making less than 30% of the median income, and the other half will be reserved for those making less than 50%. Residents will also receive free assistance for financial planning.
And controversy in Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in the hot seat after photos surfaced of him wearing brownface at an Arabian Nights party in 2001. Since then, multiple incidents of Trudeau wearing blackface have surfaced. The images surfaced just over a month away from the next Canadian federal election. CNN reports that Trudeau says he does not know how many times he has worn racist makeup.
When we come back, Minshew Mania, Gunnar Peterson has our full sports report.
When Murrow News 8 returns.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Washington State University women's soccer team plays in Honolulu tonight. The team will play University of Hawaii and Pepperdine in the Rainbow Wahine Shootout. The last time WSU women's soccer played the University of Hawaii was back in 2014. The Daily Evergreen also notes that WSU women have not lost to the Rainbow Warriors since 1995. Tune in tonight at 10 for the game. WSU women's golf had its best finish in a 9-year history of the Cougar Cup tournament. Although Cougs placed 5th in the tournament, some of our players' stats stood out. Marie Lund Hansen led the Cougars the first day of the tournament with a score of 139, which was 5 under par. Lund Hansen tied for 3rd place overall in the end of the tournament. In national news, Nike drops a big player from their sponsorship. The multi-billion-dollar company dropped Patriots receiver Antonio Brown as of today. This removal from Brown has come to fruition in light of recent rape allegations Brown has been accused of. In this stance, a spokesperson for Nike says they no longer want Brown to be affiliated with the Nike label. Minshew Mania, the stash is back. Yet again, Gardner Minshew starts for the Jacksonville Jaguars tonight. And the buzz around this rookie couldn't be more electric. Minshew holds one of the highest passer rating in his first 2 NFL games since 1950 with a score of almost 112. However, these numbers are not what was attracted to some of the public's attention. In fact, it is actually the $1 million offer Minshew received from an adult website. The site offered Minshew the deal in exchange for him to brand their new Jaguar-themed adult accessory. Minshew has yet to comment on the offer.
Next, Malou Santos will take a look at our weather.
When Murrow News 8 returns.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
It's starting to get a little closer and closer to fall, as fall is on Monday. Today, a high of 61, partly cloudy, 20% chance of rain, and we're getting less and less sun, because look, that sun is setting at 5:55 today. And yeah, let's take a look at tomorrow. 63, mostly cloudy skies, sunset 6:51. And let's go ahead and take a look at the state map. Over here in Olympia and Seattle, it is in the 60s and raining. Right here over in Central Washington is in the 70s, and for us right here, it is in the 60s. And taking a look at the 5-day forecast, it is 64 on Friday, 65, 64, 70, and 70, 64, and 70. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Malou. University of Idaho journalism professor was fired after school officials revealed she had smoked meth in the past. Denise Bennett said to the news outlets earlier today that she will appeal the decision. They say Bennett raised her voice at 2 facility members, and after she was suspended, she ranted about the school's decision on a YouTube live stream. Bennett made her termination letter from the U of I president, Scott Green, public. It reads, quote, "The berating of staff is not acceptable in the workplace," end quote. Green decided to fire her after a faculty panel recommended her termination.
After a long month, Buddha the dog can finally go home. The 11-year-old dachshund was diagnosed with a brain tumor back in August, and her owners came from Oregon to Pullman to get her treated. Thanks to Washington State University's Veterinary Clinical Sciences, Buddha no longer needs radiation after 18 treatments. Now, wearing her survivor scarf, Buddha can head home. Coming up, imagine making $1 a year while running a city. More on that
when Murrow News 8 returns. A 17-year-old's plot to attack his school was foiled by police in Eastern Washington. Como News says the boy's mother called the police after she found his, quote, disturbing journal. They said he planned on attacking College Place High School on Thursday. The boy is now being held in the Walla Walla Juvenile Detention Center.
A small-town mayor in Washington is requesting a pay bump. Wapato Mayor Dora Alvarez-Roa is requesting $1,000 in monthly pay dating back to the beginning of her mayoral term in September of 2018. The City Council decreased mayoral compensation from $1,000 a month to $1 a year. Alvarez-Roa claims the pay change was never published and therefore was never legally changed.
Thank you for watching tonight. Be sure to watch our live newscasts at nwpb.org or at Cable 8 at 7 and 10. Have a good night, everybody.